Hey yo, it's Guido coming at you with a Tactics Talk, guys. Welcome back and thanks for tuning in to this episode of World of Tanks. And we have G.A. Johnny from Clan WCTNT and his T26 E5 American Premium Tier 8 heavy tank. And as we check down below, we can see he's running a bunch of gold. No HE, alrighty. Large kits and cola. So we're in a bit of try-hard mode right here, which is a good thing because he sent me this video and said, hey Guido, have a pretty good game right here. It ends up being a class 1. But his question was, how do I turn it into an ace? Well, that's a really, really good question. So we're going to talk a little more on the high order decision making and what exactly it takes to play at that level or to turn a class 1 into an ace tanker. And I will say right off the bat that the simple answer is another shot or 2, maybe 3. It'll depend on the tier of the guy you shot. It'll depend on how much damage you did. Obviously, if you kill a one-shot near dead, that might not be worth as much, although you're getting a kill. So there's experience involved there. There's a lot to it, but as a general rule, if you're touching class 1, you're a shot 2, maybe 3 away. That's it from having an ace tanker. Maybe some spotting. That obviously comes into account as well. But you need more experience, don't you? And you're going to do that by doing the things in the game that get you experience. So if I'm looking at it and I just concentrate on the damage part, obviously spotting is important. And I say, well, how do I get that extra damage out there? All right, a little more spotting, another shot, another 2 shots, maybe 3 if that's what I need. It doesn't sound like much. Doesn't sound like much, does it? Just a shot, man. If I can just get one more shot in. Well, how do I squeeze that out of a game that tends to be a pretty good game? Well, you take a look at the game and you say, what did I do? Look at what you did, where you went, when was the downtime, where were there opportunities lost? So we're going to go ahead and get started. And really, at the end of the day, it's opportunities not taken or lost for whatever reason that kept you from getting the shot or 2. So generally, your top tier in the 3-tier battle, this tank needs to get someplace quickly as it can and start shooting things. Right? Pretty simple. But that's the positioning question that we always have. Where do I go? Well, we're here on Cliff, and we can see that G.A. Johnny's going to move towards the middle, and I think that's a good idea. So this area right here, great gun depression, pretty good turret on this tank. It's a heavy tank. Hits okay hard. It's 240 or something like that. Is that right? 240 alpha, so not amazing for a heavy tank, but good enough. But it's got fast reload. So we're going to drive here. We don't have any artillery, so it's okay if we stop here, sort of. We're going to wait for this shot. We're going to take that, and boom. All right. Not bad. So right off the bat, we get 243. We went to a spot where we knew we were going to get shots. We saw the guy, nice awareness, stopped, aimed in. He passed us. We shot him. We're off to the races. That's the start of an ace tanker or a good game. And then we drive over here, and we're just really glommed on to this A46. Right? We saw the shiny go by squirrel, and the squirrel ran up, and now we're worried about our AMD 178B because there's going to be a big mean A46 up there bullying him, and we are just pointing at this guy. And meanwhile, where are the next shots really going to come from? The next shots really are going to come from over here. Once you shot that guy, I'd head straight for this, that nice hold down spot, and looked to punish any of their guys crossing or coming up into that area. So we don't do that. We're kind of hanging out here. And this video is going to be a lot about this kind of thing, right? What should I have done next? Good job getting the shot. Where do I go? I mean, what are we really going to do here? Maybe the A46 comes over foolishly after the 178 Bravo, but do you really think so? I kind of doubt it. Maybe. But wow, we spend a lot of time kind of sitting there, and then we finally wander off this way, and we have lost opportunities. The Rev, perhaps, the Tiger, the Leo, lots of guys over here to shoot with our good turret, and then we make a choice to come up onto the ramp. Again, there's no artillery. There's really no reason, GA, to not be over here for you today. Now, the KV2 can hit you with HE. He's a bit problematic. The rest of them you can count on your turret to do a decent job, not perfect, but a decent job. So we're going to come up here, and this feels to me more like a, okay, we have artillery in the game move. And these are the things you got to think about when you're trying to maximize your performance in this game. I think you risked a shot into the side right there. But this was a decent reaction. So now we're back into, okay, let's get into the shots. You're going to where the red guys are, going to where the shots are, and that was nice. You come around here, and I don't know why she swallowed the fly. The dude, does he have the 107? I think he's firing. I think that was a, I'm pretty sure that was a KV2 with the 107. That was crazy. Anyway, we come down here. Okay, so it's a small thing, but I'm going to throw it out there. We're asking how we're going to maximize. Where do we go to the next damage? I thought the Tiger 1 was kind of your next damage. Perhaps the Rev, who is trying to climb. He's actually going up the hill now, so it doesn't look like you have a shot on him. So probably the Tiger 1 is the next damage, and you could have done a pretty good job coming down here low and going hold down, because there is a rise right here, and punishing this guy, which would then protect you a little bit from the TDs back here as well. They'll have a less of a shot. We're kind of staring at the Fury, but really the Fury is completely unable to be shot. And that lost a few seconds. But that's what we're talking about. It's the difference between a few seconds and reacting now versus reacting later. So we have to look at this with a critical eye and say, all right, where should I have gone to get that shot? This seemed dangerous to me. You're going to get your damage. You really overcommitted right there. And actually, I think you just got a crit, no damage. We got very lucky. Look how many hits we took. We got a couple crit hits on us. We did a crit to him, and very lucky that that 25/2 did not take out some of our hit points. So I like the aggressiveness there, but I think I would have gone this way. Based on the way he moved, you might not have got a shot, but be very careful about punching out right there when there's this many tanks in the game. There's a bunch of TDs. You know at least one has to be up there. I would guess at least one would have to be up there without any other knowledge. And now you know the T25/2. So now I'm thinking, all right, that's good. Okay, what are we doing? Right? Why? There's no hit points over there. The Tiger P, the Pudel, the P43, they went around the corner. Now you may think, well, I'll go follow up, but why? That's beautiful. They're over there. They've got these guys worried now. Stay here. They already made that move. No need for you to come over and help them make that move. Just stay up here in this tall area. Look to take down the Tiger, and then look for them to light up guys in the back. I mean, it's just a perfect situation. So this is all lost time. We're basically reacting for no good reason. I'm going to drive all the way down here. This is a strange view for me. It's interesting to watch people, the way they hold their camera and just the way they play the game. Being down low like this just feels like a low SA way to do it. I think I would be more up like this. I mean, keep it to where you can get your gun online, but up a little bit lets you look around. If you're down here, I don't know. It's very strange. And then you change your mind. I think this is the right decision. I think it was the wrong decision to start trucking that way. There was zero reason to do it. Probably had a couple shots on the Tiger 1. Somewhere in there, if you depress just a little bit, you do have to be careful about the T25/2. You don't want to just let him shoot you. So here we go up here. The Rev's causing him trouble. Unfortunately, with him up there in good gun depression, those guys are having trouble getting in. So there we go. They've got the Tiger. We put a thump on the Tiger, it looks like. Yep. But he gets a shot on us. And then that was unwise. Once you got spotted, just get out of there. You know that 25/2 is up in that sniper spot, and we get lucky once again. But there's that turret. Probably hit the turret or maybe the upper plate. I think I would back out. I would have backed out down and come around the side of this in case that 25/2 sees you back out, you're still lit, and then sees you come back in. He may just put a poke right into there and blind shoot you, which is kind of what you deserved on that. I would have backed all the way out and come down to the lower area down here. Lance and C gets in there. And I like this. Now you follow up. Lance and C's going in. There should be some lights and things right here. 3002, we're looking for a shot. You know the 25/2 is up there. And I guarantee you he's probably in that bush right there. Maybe in that further one, but more than likely right here. Just take a poke into that. See if the shell hits behind. If it doesn't, you got him. And the other question is, how many other buddies does he have up there? There's a lot of TDs. So take quick stock. Another thing you do in a game when you're trying to try hard and do the best you can and get as much damage as possible is to guess where everything is so that you can formulate in your head your plan to move through. Your team's in a really good situation. The 1-2 line is taken care of as far as they're not going to push through. Still, they haven't won because there's a prototype of Ferdinand. There's something else buried in there. I can't see what the name of it is. There's the Furry is there at G1, the 3002, and that leaves some important tanks unspotted. It looks like a couple Hellcats, so they could be trouble for you. Easy to pen you with those things. And it looks like I guess that's the IS-6 down on the corner, I believe, right there. And you know where the 25/2 is. So if you look at that, you go, okay, I know where most of those tanks are, or have a good guess. I know where the T25/2 is. Maybe one of the Hellcats is with them. We'll find out in a little bit. One of the other Hellcats is somewhere, who knows, but he could be camping back there. So let's just go ahead and keep going on this. I like this. Is not a bad move right here. This is a little bit tricky for me. The Lanson got pinned down behind that rock. He must have got hit probably by one of the snipers up there. This is an okay move. I think you're moving up to this area here. You don't really have an option to come across right now. They did clear the hill, and that was very important for your freedom of movement in this area down here. So now when I'm doing this kind of thing and I'm thinking, all right, how am I going to get as many hit points as I can? How am I going to flow through what's left? How am I going to win the battle? You need to pick the place that needs to be taken down next, or the place you can affect the most next. Maybe not necessarily the same thing. Sometimes you just get trapped somewhere and you have to affect where you are. But if you have a little bit more freedom like you do, kind of the center of the map, how do I take down the next important thing? And for me, it's the sniper hill in the south and that 3002, so you can then wrap around the guys that are sitting down the 1-2 line. That's how this map is generally won, when you have a lot of tanks that go down and hide out in the 1-2 line. So you and the Lanson push in, and this looks like a good idea to me. We'll come around here and we'll see what we can find. A little bit exposed on the hill. What I want you to also think about a little bit more is some of your hold down stuff, and we'll talk about that in a minute, especially later on in the battle right here. We kind of poke out, and we got this big opening here, and we're looking around. What do we got? We drive up and we get spotted. Ah, man, yeah. You have to remember that guy was there, and look, he's actually moved away from where he was. He may have been sitting there the whole time. Now you're just close enough to spot him. So remember that sniper hill's there. Try to pay attention to the lines of fire when you're making moves like that. For me, I think I'd have been over here up against the rock. A couple things. Number one, I'm protecting myself from this guy. And number two, look at this hold down spot right here. You can just kind of drive forward and back and look and peek and see if you can see guys down here. But you've picked the big opening for them to shoot you right there. So, yeah, he's on a reload, so we'll aim in and punish him. That's not bad. There you go. And maybe shoot him again. He's looking at somebody else. That's the beauty of multiple people attacking one spot. Both Hellcats are up there. Beautiful. Yeah, this guy's right here. That's not bad. I think he probably needs to go, so I thought that was a good shot. Whichever one you can get. And we back out, and it looks like a bit of a stalemate. So 3002 is hugging that rock. There's a Hellcat up there. There's two Hellcats up there. Actually, one's lit. The other one is no longer lit. The Lanson took a beating, the Pudel, and the Tiger P. So another thing then, while you're attempting to get to the top levels, is look around and see what's going on with your buddies while you're on reloads, and when you're just taking a stock of the battle and thinking about it for just a second. Go, all right, what the heck's going on? JPZ, why is the Canon Jagdpanzer there? Nobody knows. No, you know, but at least look at it and go, okay, that jackass is there. He's not doing anything. Hopefully he starts moving, and I'll just keep that in my mind. Like, I need to pay attention to the mini map. I hope the Canon moves at some point. Just go, yeah, okay, great, he's still there, and just keep fighting. But you're looking at going, Lanson's a one-shot. That's bad. Tiger P is hurt. Pudel is in good shape. Which one of these guys is likely to make a move? Which one of them is likely to get some lights? What does my situation over here look like? How do we get rid of the 3002M and the Hellcat? Well, it's not going to be easy, is it? Because 3002 kind of has you pinned there. The Hellcats are hiding in bushes. And if you try to go across this open space down here, then you probably get shredded from the dudes on the 1-2 line. So for the moment, you really need to work this position right here. Hellcat takes a little bit of a hit. Also think about, they know where you are. A little bit tricky right there. They know where you are, and there are shots from down here. So these guys are going to eventually do some reaction of some kind and maybe start getting shots on you. Kind of like the Black Prince right there. So we see him, we auto aim, put a little shot. We back out. And then we come back in here, and this is the hold down thing I'm talking about, all right? You've got a bit of your hull, you're angled, that's nice. You got a bit of your hull exposed to this guy. Why not tuck up into this area right here so you can use these rocks potentially, go really hold down, and I still think you're going to be pretty well protected from the guys up top. You'd have to be careful about going too far forward, but I would investigate cover a little bit more. The other possibility is back up back here so that less of your hull is showing right here. And I can tell there's a lot of your holes showing because when I zoom in, the space between the ground and where your gun is aiming, there's a lot of space right there. So if I'm aiming right here, that means just my turret is really poking up. But if I'm aiming here and I got all this space between the ground and my target, that means a considerable amount of your upper hull is available for them to shoot. It's a look up for the Black Prince. It's an angled upper plate he's probably going to end up hitting, so it's not bad armor profile overall, but you can still minimize it. And that's what we're talking about when we're trying to do as best we can. We want to minimize the exposure and maximize the amount of damage. Shots are here, so I like this. You take a couple, investigate it, but now we're just really enamored of this Black Prince. I would stop worrying about him so much and go around this corner over here and see if you, with your hit points and better armor, can start working on getting these guys lit. Also, you need to be continually checking 6 back here. You can tell the Kanonen's moved up. That's good. But look back and go, what's going on? Has my, okay, so Lanson came up. He's next to me. Tiger P still back there. Pudel. Those guys appear to not be a great amount of help right now. They're sort of pinned down, so there's nothing you can do right now off of their efforts. But I think if you turned around and went around the corner right there, you might have a little more luck finding the Hellcats and getting rid of the 3002. So we mess around with the Black Prince a little bit. There's the 3002, and we say, okay, let's go take a shot on him. Fair enough. See if we can get a shot. Is he going to poke out? Hard to tell. We are exposed to the Hellcat. All right, so, and the Hellcats got lit. Look at the Pudel moving in. Look at the Pudel moving in. This is your opportunity right here. That fight over there, that was the next thing that needed to happen, and we're just enamored of the Black Prince we have no shot on. Meanwhile, there's a scrap going on over here. These guys have pushed in, everyone's shooting, and we're still screwing around with the Black Prince. And we're talking 1 or 2 shots, right? So another shot or two, maybe get a shot on the Hellcat, maybe have it had a shot on the 3002. Maybe if you'd have gone around the corner and helped them push, some of the spotting would have been yours, all the sweet spotting. And then we see the Hellcat, and we're trying to mess around. All right. Probably that Hellcat's not going to last long. Unfortunately, they got the Pudel, and then your Black Prince down there. Your team's starting to have a bit of a problem over on the 1-2 line, and you haven't cleaned up over here. You really, really need to get rid of that Hellcat before you can get anything going on. So I think with you being a little more aggressive on the other side of this rock and cleaning up this south position right here faster would have really helped your team in enveloping the last guys that are down in the pit down here. And it just unfortunately takes a while to develop because you're just really screwing around with this Black Prince right here on shots you're probably not going to get. Looks like you finally kind of go, okay, this Black Prince is not going to give me shots. There's a bush here. Get spotted doing it. And we back out. I would be careful about that. I mean, the Black Prince almost has shots right there. He's looking for him. You can see he came around the corner. Then we turn back around and we're going to go mess with the Black Prince. This is what I'm talking about. That position where you're completely hold down. I'm just going to let you go forward a little bit. Let's see until we finally get it. There we go. Right there. A shot like that. And I think you may actually do it here. Oh, you go a little too far. See, you've exposed yourself a little bit more than you wanted to. One of the dangers of that is it does make it easy to hit the ground if your gun line is just, you know, a pixel or two above the ground. Anything low goes in. So there is an argument to go slightly further. You don't expose too much more of the hole if you do that. All right. Huge SA was just given to you on the bottom right. Huge SA was just given to you on the bottom right. As soon as I saw that, my instinct would have been to head this way. Because look at the rest of their tanks. There's 4 of them, and they're all down there. Go that way, young man. Truck that way and start looking for shots. Beautiful position where your Achilles is right here for this tank. This position over here, hold down, shooting down into that pit is absolutely beautiful. So we're like, all right, where's that? I really want to kill that Black Prince. He's so annoying. And what's going on with the Hellcat? Oh shit, Hellcat's dead. All right, there we go. We're talking about how to turn it into an ace tanker, and every missed opportunity, every delay, every second we don't go to get damage, every line we take. This one I did not understand, to be quite honest. Why we decided to go around the back side of this when really all we had to do was drive right along here. It's possible one of these guys has managed to get back to the cap and might see you crossing here. I really don't think so, based on where all the tanks were. This is maybe the more conservative move, but again, we're talking about how to turn a game into an ace tanker. So it's not gross. I just throw it out. This is food for thought. I'm not telling you this one's 100% wrong. So we're going to come up here and start going hold down. And then this is where we're going to talk a lot about hold down stuff because we do some misplays in here. Okay, so we come in here. This is good. Man, I would slow down. Just slow down, and I would come in with a little bit more zoom. What's going on? All right, he's actually behind that corner rock, so he's not a factor even though I see his marker. This guy's the dude I want, but there's a Ferdinand maybe in this area too, and that's really what I'm afraid of, is the Ferdinand over here. So instead of driving here and just giving whatever's down there shots, I'd have gone over here. go over here and use this little corner, this rock right here, protect myself from the prototype, and maybe try to find the Ferdinand back in these bushes, or even a shot on the IS-6, but just isolate the amount of direction shots can come from. So we're going to come in here, we come up and over, and like, oh my gosh, we're just asking for it, and we get thumped. Right? No surprise, we completely overexposed right through the top. Ouch. Right through the top plate. Easy shot for the Ferdy, who's sitting in one of these bushes, like right in this area, right here, and just a total misplay on how I poked on this corner. It's a great position, but just driving up and over at the one marker that I see, knowing there's 3 or 4 tanks down in there, okay, is definitely the wrong play, and we get a lucky bounce from the T-28 because that would have hurt our chances. All right, good. The good news is this guy gets exposed and reloads, but he's shooting HE. So 2 HE shots from the Ferdinand only gives him, what is it, 240, 400 damage. Very lucky. I mean, 2 actual hits from that guy. What is it, 490 alpha, 390, something like that? I mean, we could have been 800 hit points down from that. So that works out for us. And we're screwing around here. And then we turn around and we wander, and I have no idea, 0 idea why we're doing this. You know, I should have said it at the beginning to strap in, because the question was, how do I turn this into an ace? And I will say off right here, it's been a good game, and it will continue to be a good game. But these are the kind of things that cause you to not get ace tankers from a class 1. I really have 0 idea what we're doing here. It looks like you're trying to reposition down the 1-2 line. Maybe you saw that they died down there and you wanted a additional angle on it. It just was unrequired. Those guys are pinned down. As long as you're up there, peeking over, taking a look, trying to find them, getting shots, go and hold down with that decent turret, they're not going anywhere. It's highly unlikely they're going to squeeze through in a prototype that's near dead, an IS-6 or even the Black Prince. But we're going to head over this way. So I thought this was unrequired. Again, it's a more careful move, perhaps a more conservative move. Here's what I don't like about this the most. If those 3 somehow knew, and I didn't remember the timing on when you went dark and when you turned around, but if they saw you leaving and they knew it was a near-dead Canonin and a near-dead Achilles, they might have pushed those guys. They might have pushed those guys. They are pinned down, though, which is why that position is so terrible. Folks, this is why you don't go 1-2 line and just sit there on this map. You don't need that many people there. A push on the 1-2 never, I can't say never, virtually never wins. It's a low percentage play. It's a camper spot, and typically, if your team loses above, you end up being that team who's pinned down here. I-6 gets hit. Looks like the Achilles did a little shot on him, and we're going to come around here taking a look. Now this little sequence surprised me a little bit. We see him, which is nice, and we get him dead. So good job on that. He actually saw you, so I don't know if that was after your shot. I don't think so, because it went off right after you fired, and he looked like he was looking at you. Maybe your tank was around the corner, or this bush just isn't what I think it is, because this surprises me here as well. We come in, don't hit dead things that the enemy can see, because they'll see the marker move. And we come around this corner. I don't know, man. I guess that bush is just not... That surprised me a lot, that the IS-6 burned through that. I mean, I don't know. Is he running a CVS for some reason? I have no idea. I guess that bush just isn't all you think it is, or there's some kind of hole in it or something. It's bizarre. That's absolutely bizarre. I would have not expected you to get spotted there. I don't fight down here, so somebody down in chat may have a better idea about that bush area right there and how good it is. The bummer here is we've lost a significant vote. We can no longer take a hit. He would have to low roll pretty badly if he pins for us to survive. 390 alpha, we have 340, 326, 8, whatever that is. Canonin's running around. He's trying to change position a little bit, and now we don't really have any options here, right? Where's the Black Prince? If I was the IS-6, I might push you. But he also probably doesn't know that the Canonin has left and is not sitting up there waiting for him to break out into the open. This is a decent job here now of a little bit of teamwork. Everybody just sort of sat around waiting for the other guy to push and hoping they got a shot. All of a sudden, now that it's kind of down to the brass tacks here, everyone's sort of communicating now and working a little bit together. So nice job lighting up the Black Prince. The Canonan's getting around. Looks like he's looking for a shot down there, hoping that the IS-6 doesn't somehow come around the corner and see him. So has the IS-6 turned around and gone back? I'd imagine so about right now, because the Canonan's probably spotted out in the open, as is the Tiger, and my guess would be that IS-6 has made a move. So potentially an aggressive move for you is to get pushed in there and see if you can't find this guy. But of course, if he is staring down that line right there, you might walk right into a shot. So we're going to hang out here. The cleanup is happening right now. I don't know if you get a shot. Yeah, you do actually. I think you get the kill on the IS-6 based on some bounces and things. But there were multiple opportunities there, I think, to get extra shots. The initial positioning, nice shot on the first guy, knowing where you were going to get a shot. And then sort of messing around with the A46, go to the middle, get your shots. A couple questionable maneuver decisions around the hill where I think you could have got more shots. At least twice wandering away from the fight and then coming back, changing your decision right there when pressing a little harder and a little faster would have helped out. I think dealing with that south sniper position earlier would have helped out your team a lot and gotten you a few more hit points in there. And then when you came up to this top area here, I would have continued to investigate. There's actually a bush right there. Forgot all about that. There's actually a bush right there which would have allowed you to come in, hold down, use the bush, and maybe take a peek down here and find these guys potentially, or at least one of them. And then just continue to use this upper spot. Instead of coming all the way around this way, I think I would have gone, if your decision was I don't want to use the donut hold down spot here, instead of going all the way around the north, I think filtering your way down through the south was probably a better idea. Maybe getting up on top here and see if you can't get some proxy lights or catch them out down here or something like that. Ends up working out. You got 2,928 damage, 910 assists, and we end up with 4 kills and a win in a class 1. So I threw a lot of stuff out there. Really, more than likely, any of those things would have got you another shot or two in. Where were most of the hit points you probably could have got? Probably on that south sniper hill if you'd have helped press in on the 3002 and the 2 Hellcats. There were a lot more shots of opportunity I think you could have had there. And then on the donut area, earlier in the middle, down in the sniper spot, and then the donut area, just pressing for a few more shots in there would have got you, I think, that shot or two that you needed. Nicely done, man. Thanks for sending that in. I think that's a good one for that kind of discussion because it was a good game. It was close. It was small things, I think, that kept you from getting the ace. There was nothing in there that you'd go, oh, what a terrible player you are. It's all fine-tuning. When you have a game like that, you have to look at it and go, they were small opportunities. Where were they? When could I have taken them? That's all I've got, guys. Thanks for tuning in. I appreciate it. If you learned something like what you saw, throw me a subscribe. If you're looking for other ways to support the channel and content creation, that is down in the description. That is all I've got for today. See ya.